Right, there's a news story that you're not going to find really in the mainstream media today. It's about cybersecurity and it's about a data breach at the heart of the BBC and, of course, other organizations as well. Firstly, let's focus on the BBC because a lot of stuff happened earlier today, which was a bit of a coincidence. All happened at the same time: British Airways, BBC, and a couple of others. So the BBC, firstly, just sent this out to their staff. Emergency information for BBC staff. BBC 159. This information for people who work at the BBC. Cool. Let's see what they have to say. Now, Zealous BBC payroll data compromise. So Zealous is the company that they use for their data, for their obviously especially payroll system, saying we have been informed by our supplier IBM that their contractor Zealous has been affected by a vulnerability in the third-party software it uses. So move it transfer provided by Progress Software. This has led to a data breach affecting several organizations, including the BBC. Zealous managed to manage the payroll process for the BBC and therefore hold personal data about BBC employees and individuals engaged by the BBC on a payroll basis. All right, a PAYE basis. At this stage, Zealous have confirmed that they have no evidence that the bank account details have been compromised. Not yet, they don't know yet. The breach has been reported to the Information Commissioner's Office and appears to be a significant global technical issue. All right. And then they've got all these details there, the kind of questions and answers for their staff in case you don't know what's happened. So what has happened? Then you've got the answers here. Then you've got questions saying how quickly was it identified as an issue? What steps have been taken to secure our data and prevent any further data compromise? You've got another question: how many people are affected? What are the risks to me? What do I need to do immediately? This is quite interesting because they said, please be vigilant for any activity that seems unusual. We would encourage you to change your passwords on important online services and be cautious of any unsolicited and unexpected communications that ask for your personal information or refer you to a web page asking for personal information. Please also avoid responding to clicking on links or downloading attachments from suspicious email addresses. So basically, change your password. That's what you have to do if you work at the BBC. Where can I go further for help and advice? How will I know if my data has been compromised? We will confirm as soon as possible with BBC colleagues' data and whether the data has been compromised. All right, cool. So you would think this is a huge story, but and it's actually affected many other companies today as well. So you got British Airways, who have been caught up in a massive payroll data breach as well after cybersecurity incident hit supplier. So they've all reported BA and other companies, and we actually had a statement from British Airways saying that this incident happened because of a new and previously unknown vulnerability in a widely used Move It file transfer tool. A statement from the airline explained, we have notified those colleagues whose personal information has been compromised to provide support and advice. So that's BA. And the news about British Airways has been reported. We get it. But when you go on BBC's homepage, you don't really see much about the BBC and their own staff and their payroll being affected. That is slightly interesting. They don't want to scare people or their own staff or basically admit that they were also on the list. I mean, it's a little bit weird. I think what would have been good if you also reported the BBC being on the list of the companies that were also affected because your payroll, that you guys use the same software. And clearly something is happening today because it's not some sort of exercise, it's not some sort of trial run for some sort of cybersecurity defense. It's been affected by many others. So we'll keep you guys posted. I just don't understand why the BBC decided to hide this story about themselves. I don't think it's anything important, but it's just classic and changing the tactics into focusing on other issues rather than their own organization, because it would seem that they are also vulnerable. They have that moral high ground saying, well, we will hold everybody else to account. If another company has a weak cybersecurity system, we'll hold them to account. We'll ask questions. But if we do have it, it's probably best not to raise questions. Do you remember Nicola Sturgeon? She told the leadership and the management of the party a few months ago, a year ago, in that video, saying it's probably best not to raise questions about the finances of the party because the finances are fine. Just don't ask questions. Absolute lunacy at the heart of the establishment. Anyway, we'll keep you guys posted on this as well. I'm Mahyar Tousi, and we are the media.